Hi teachers, I wanted to show you how to navigate your instructional menus to use them to then create and find resources and implement small group instruction in your classroom. So the first step is looking at your RTI sort and making sure that every student has their student ID, which they should at this point, and that every student has a check, even if that includes no dedicated interventions necessary. If you notice that a student is not checked and you have concerns about them, please reach out to Molly or me and we can figure out what interventions would be best. If you have a student that's not checked and they don't need any interventions, then you can go ahead and check no dedicated interventions necessary. From there, I would look over at your data meeting discussion tab, click on that and see if there are any students that are working with Molly or Betsy. Students that are working with interventionist or resource also still need supported with small group instruction in the classroom. So when I'm looking at who's working with Molly, I don't know that your menus have what they're working on, but if you have a student that's checked for PA and linguistic approach, that's most likely what they're going to be doing with Molly. That doesn't mean that you can't still do that in the classroom. You should still be doing some PA 1-minute activities in the classroom if you have students receiving that intervention. So then I'm going to go back to the RTI sort, and then I'm just going to start clicking through these tabs. So I'm going to start at the PA tab. These two students are grouped together. They are working with Molly. I'm going to give them a color and keep them grouped together. I might make a note out here that those students are working with Molly. So I don't need to do PA interventions outside of 1-minute activities. Those are listed right here in your instructional resources. So when you click 1-minute activities, it's going to open up a folder that has the booklets for 1-minute activities. There are also videos here for 1-minute phonological awareness activities based on the different levels. You could plug those into your Canvas module and give students access to that if you wanted them to practice on their own. So those are the PA students. Then I'm going over to the phonics work. Again, these students are working with Molly. So they are going to do their phonics intervention with Molly. I don't need to do anything with that. If you're not sure, if you have students doing PA or foundations / phonics and they are working with Molly and you want to double check to make sure that she's going to do those interventions, that's fine. You are also welcome to double dip. Molly's likely not going to be working on current units and foundations. So if you need to do foundations intervention with your current unit based on your unit test data, that would be something that you want to do on your own in your small groups. Moving over to fluency, this student was working on fluency with Betsy. I'm going to give him a color. I don't love that color. I'm going to change that, sorry. I'm going to go with this one. So that student is working with Betsy doing fluency, but you're going to see that I also have some comprehension groups over here that are going to be going that this student could then go in as well. So for right now, I'm just going to keep him here as working with Betsy. Moving over to vocabulary, I've got a group of 4. So I'm going to group these 4 together. So this group can do these vocabulary lessons. So if you click in that folder, these are all activities that they could do. Let's say that this is a 4th grade class and they need to work on words in context. I can pick from any of these activities for them to do for vocabulary. If they're in 3rd grade, I would pick from the 2-3 lessons. So each folder is linked to a lesson plan that has different activities. I have done these in my own classroom last year, and I will say that they were very impactful with my MLL students. Moving on to spelling, these students would be in a group together working on spelling. Here are activities that they could do. I worked with Becky in 4th grade, and so we found that this one would be a really nice one for students who are behind with specific skills. These are just some extra practice that you could do in addition to the words their way work, just to review specific sounds. Again, these resources are also available to you too. You could extend your words their way work, whatever works best for you. Then we've got comprehension. These kids would be a group. If my fluency student needed some comprehension work as well, I could plug him in and have him join this group. Here are some activities linked, some resources that you could use to run your comprehension groups. Becky and I really liked these ones. You can do them with any text. So you could use your read aloud text and carry that over into your small group work to provide some additional comprehension. Depending on where your kiddos are at, you could also access Flyleaf or Geode's decodable readers. They have scripted lesson plans and activities that go along with the reading to support comprehension. If that's something you're interested in, then get with me and I can come model some lessons for you and help you get that rolling. So just wanted to check in, make sure that you understood that these are going to be the groups that you are pulling. If you've got kids working with Molly or Betsy, they're going to get pulled out for that work, but you also still need to meet with those students in a small group. So if you have questions or need any more guidance, please let me know.